What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shay Renee, and I am back to talk about love and marriage DC. And can I tell you something? I love Monique, but it's giving fake friend vibes over here, sis. And I'm hoping I'm seeing the wrong thing, but let's get into it, shall we? All right, y'all. So we are going to talk briefly about episode 7 and dive right into episode 8. And I'm going to touch on some brief points that I saw from episode 7. So episode 7, Ashley said that she's never had any like professional photos done. She don't really like doing photo shoots and stuff, but she has this new book coming out that she obviously has to get pictures done for. So she gets that rolling. Monique comes to the session where she's doing the photos or whatever, and they talk, she kind of discloses some things about Winter calling her husband DJ Fun Size, and then she calls Arena's husband Jamie Red Light Special. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. I thought we already talked about this in some other episodes. So for them to be for Arena to get this extremely mad over it, I didn't really understand how she got so pissed off at the end of the episode. But whatever. I thought they kind of talked about this already at the selfie museum. So I didn't really get it. I thought that she already knew. I'm pretty sure that Ashley already knew that he was called DJ Fun Size, but whatever. Okay. Moving on, Arena and Jamie are setting up for their TikTok videos, and they talk about how the TikTok videos have really brought them together. But then they talk about, seeing Terry for some more sessions because she really brought out a lot of things that they need to address as far as Jamie seeming like a bully to everybody in the family and controlling, and he directs that back to his childhood of how his dad was always very hard on him and very stern with him. And it doesn't seem like he really had a mother role in his life very much as he was growing up. And his father was his main parent. So he takes after his dad a lot. And that's kind of creating how he interacts with women and pretty much everybody, because he seems to be parenting his children the way that his dad parented him. And without that female, like sensitive touch in his life, he doesn't really understand that coming from Arena. So, which is what we uncover in the next episode with Terry, which we'll get into then. So then we see Monique starting to do her radio show thing. And I'm really excited and happy for her. She seems like this is something that she really wanted to do. And then we get to see Chris kind of redefining his role, where now he's helping more with taking care of the children. So he's seen getting up, getting the kids breakfast and all this, and then Monique is getting up at the ass crack of dawn to go do this radio show. So she does the radio show, she loves it. Then she comes home and they sit down and have a conversation, and he admits to her, he's like, wow, I really see, I commend you for all that you've done over the years. Like, you made it look easy, like it's really hard. And she's like, yeah, you can't wing it with 3 children. And I just felt like in that moment, like, he's trying to pay you a compliment, and you taking every chance you get to like shove it down his throat that you did such an amazing job with the children, instead of taking the compliment and saying, well, thank you, I'm glad that you see, just how hard it is with the kids, but I appreciate you, taking the strides to see that, like, this is what it's like for us to parent as a unit. Like, both of us have to share in that responsibility, and here's some pointers for how you can make it easier. Like, that would have been a better way to express that, instead of taking the opportunity to immediately pounce on him and say and be negative. Like, I don't know what's going on with Monique and her hormones. Maybe not eating meat no more is making her act crazy, but Lord have mercy. And let me tell you, I love me some Monique Samuels, but she been doing some stuff that's kind of making me go, I don't know. But anyway, they talk about that. He says he's going to try more. She feels like she's living in her passion. he says, you know, maybe coaching is his passion and that's something that he needs to look into. And she says, well, you know, if that's what you really want to do, then we really need to do what it takes to get you into that. So moving on, child. And then Arena and this BBL. Arena, we're not even going to talk about this too long. Arena has this whole I want to be perfect thing, and she has taken it, took the baton, and didn't need to pass it back in the Olympics, and she's won first place. Like, Arena, you don't need a BBL, honey. Your body looks amazing. Stop trying to be like these women on the internet that hate themselves, because you're going to keep playing around and you're going to be walking around with a diaper booty like the rest of these chicks. Because I'm telling you, as thin as you are, you're going to look like an ant. You're going to have little legs and a big butt that looks unproportioned. And then you're going to be running around here feeling like Lil' Kim, like I shouldn't have never had all these surgeries. I don't even recognize myself. Don't do it. If you don't, I don't know if you even watch my channel, or somebody please share this snippet, this part with her. Do not get a BBL, Arena. You do not need it. You need all that money that you're going to invest in doing that. You need to continue to give it to Terry or some counselor so that you can get your mental space together, because your mind is fucked up. It really is. This level of needing to be perfect that lives inside of you, you need to have it vacate the premises immediately, because your body is something that people are paying for. People work hard every day in the gym, going and missing meals so that they can get the body that you have. And if your husband isn't complaining, why are you doing this to yourself? I just wish women would get the mental help that they need so that they can feel comfortable in their skin. Because this mindset of allowing what's on TV and social media to portray what should be considered beautiful has really gotten out of hand. And Arena, you are naturally beautiful. I would love to see Arena without all the makeup and not done up all the time, because it's really giving fake. It's giving I have to be some China doll, and it's that's not what the people want to see. And I know that her and Jamie, they have been trying their hardest, child, to allegedly to get on the Real Housewives of Potomac. You finally got on TV. Don't get on TV and be fake. You know, with reality TV, you got to be real. I want y'all to start being real. Now, this is a real situation where you want to get this BBL, but you don't need it. That's a fake piece of body part that you don't need. Let it rest. Don't get no BBL, sis. I'm just telling you right now. That's my public service announcement for this episode, for just that. Moving on. Chris and Quick meet up and discuss handling their emotions, being the man of the household, their upbringing, and Quick talks about him not crying, being taught not to cry growing up. I feel like that's really a shame. Men should not be taught not to show their emotions. I get it. Men are supposed to look strong like bull all the time, but you are a human being. It's okay to cry. And the fact that you're glorifying not crying and not having any emotions, that's a problem. Because that stuff can build up inside of you and cause stress. And it can show itself in all these different ways. It's okay to cry quick. Like, seriously. And I don't want to hear no more conversations about you not wanting to cry and all this, because that's a load of bullshit. Just cry, sir. Like, seriously. I mean, this trying to be hard little man syndrome is falling flat. Be human. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be human and start listening to your wife. Start being around your children more, because all this working that you're doing is giving an excuse. It's an excuse to not deal with your real life. And dealing with real life makes you have real emotions. And sitting up here glorifying not having emotions is not being a man. Okay? And that's that on that. So Arena, at the end of that episode, she goes off on Winter about calling Jamie Red Light Special. And then that leads into episode 8. So here in episode 8, Arena is still going off on Winter. She asks her if she thinks that she's like, are you mentally fucked up from your marriages? And I'm like, Arena, like, sis, seriously, all of this energy that you're giving Winter right now, it's giving very extra. Now, let me say something. Winter, you did put all this stuff on yourself by talking shit. And I get it. You thought you were having a good girlfriend conversation with Monique, which Monique, you are real foul for going back and telling them what that girl said. Because even if you thought in your head that that's what she said exactly to them, I wouldn't have been a damn Channel 9 newsflash reporter and went back and told these women this. Now I get it. Monique also is an executive producer on the show. So she has to try to get the drama going so that this shit wouldn't be boring. But who's to say that it would have been boring if we really got to know y'all couples individually without all this drama? I feel like Winter was really a casualty of war in all of this. And I hope that they can still remain friends because obviously y'all have known each other. Y'all said 15 or 16 years or whatever the case may be. And I've seen tweets on Twitter where Monique tried to downplay their relationship or whatever. And that right there, that's really fucked up too, by the way. Um, then she alluded to when she went over to Winter's townhouse in this episode, that was the first time she ever went over her house. And I'm gonna say allegedly, just in case I read that wrong. But yeah, Monique, you really sacrificed your friend Winter. And Winter, I feel bad for you because Winter seems like a really level-headed person that can express her emotions. She did, go wrong by it's like you don't want nobody to talk about your marriage and how fucked up it is and the situations that you have going on with these scamming ass men that you've been with, but you want to talk about everybody else's marriage, which they were going to see this on the playback anyway, sis. But outside of that, I do think that they're giving her team too much over this situation. Like everybody is weighing in on Winter entirely too much. Like they're giving her too much. And Arena gave her way too much in this scene. Like Winter is trying to have like a level-headed conversation with her and tell her she didn't have any ill intent by what she said. And maybe she feels, and she's sorry for repeating what happened in that conversation. But Arena was just so heated. And I'm like, girl, why do you give a fuck about her saying your husband was red light special? You talked about it on the show, so everybody knew what happened. So why do you give this much? Why are you giving her this much energy? I feel like in that moment, Arena was deflecting. She was taking out all of her anger, all of her negative energy that she feels towards Jamie. I think she was inadvertently taking that out on Winter because she feels so controlled by Jamie and she always has to hold her composure. She always has to look a certain way with Jamie. Like she always has to act like with him always tapping her, telling her not to have no emotions, grabbing her face in the next scene when they all were at the little club or whatever, which by the way, don't ever put your hands in my face and don't ever try to stop me from expressing myself. That's one thing you're not ever going to do. And no man should ever try to do that to his wife. You have a conversation later on if I'm doing something that you don't like, but don't ever embarrass me like that. I feel like she's taking all of her energy, negative energy that she's been bottling up towards him and lashing out and dumping it all on Winter. And it's really messed up. I don't think sis didn't deserve all of that. She really, really didn't. So Winter was just like, you know what? You bringing up, and then Arena brings up her ex-husband, was like, yo, your husband had a baby by the nanny and all that stuff. And she said, okay, well, let me stop you right here because my ex-husband is not on this show. And what we're not going to do is bring him up and talk about him because he's not here to defend himself. And I didn't do this for him. So I'm going to go ahead and head out because you tripping. You're standing up and getting all in my face, child, and I don't feel safe in this space. So I'm going to get up out of this place, okay? So she rolled the hell on out and headed on out, okay? So the next scene, Jamie and Raina and the family show up to his CIA event. Ashley and Quick attend, and they have this childish banter back and forth about who's selling out events the most and that. Jamie, let me just pause you. Yes, you're a party promoter, but Quicksilver is on the radio. Don't nobody really know you from a can of paint than doing events unless you're like an avid party goer in DC. Let's just Go ahead and throw the marbles out there. You're definitely not as wide, well known as Quicksilver for somebody to be you to be selling out more parties than him. It's okay to humble yourself. Quicksilver is known all over the place. He's dealt with so many celebrities, and yes, I know you know celebrities too. You don't know as many celebrities as Quicksilver does. Okay, he's an actual freaking DJ. He's on the radio. He is a catalyst to promoting these people's music. So he has more connections than you. So this whole party stuff, this was a dead aspect of the scene. I could have left that. Y'all could have left that out. So anyway, Ashley switches the conversation up because obviously she's just as bored with them going back and forth about these parties as we are. And of course, Monique and Chris come on the scene. So they're talking, and then Chris discusses having the kids while, they congratulated Monique on getting on the radio and doing that. And, Quick is like, yeah, because I'm on the radio and that's a big thing, whatever. And then he congratulates her, and Chris talks about having the kids and then running him ragged. And they move on from that. So Tasha walks in, which I'm glad to see her, because I was like, isn't Tasha Lyons on this show too? Why is she not filming? So she comes in and they all begin to talk about the situation with Winter. And Ashley immediately doesn't like Tasha now because, her or Raina, because they feel like Tasha is on Winter's side. Because Tasha was like, well, I don't feel like Winter is like totally in the wrong here. I feel like y'all were speaking on her marriage. She was responding, and it is what it is, or whatever the case may be. And Winter even pointed to Monique and was like, that's your friend. You've known her for a long time. You need to have a discussion with her just to kind of understand her perspective and where she's coming from. And Arena jumps in and says, yeah, you need to check your girl. Yeah, you need to check your friend, because I had lunch with her yesterday about her saying my husband was a red light special. Yeah, she got names for our husbands, Ashley. And Ashley was like, yeah, I know. She called him DJ Fun Size. I thought it was kind of funny, but I'm not really thinking about Winter or tripping off of her. But Arena was just going off. And so Jamie is trying to dial it back. So he grabs her face and is like, knock it off. It's giving abusive energy from Jamie. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, I'm not gonna say that he whooping her ass at home, but it's something going on there. Like, for him to do the stuff that he's doing, like his need to look like the big man on campus or be popular or be seen is unhealthy. Like, everywhere y'all go, y'all gotta be flashy and y'all gotta be doing it. I'm here to tell you right now, we do not care. I'm telling you, all of that shit that y'all doing with the glitz and glam and the labels and all this stuff, nobody gives a damn about any of that. Okay? Do something in the community to make yourself well known. I've seen the most well known, well seen people wearing Sperry's. They not out here wearing labels and trying to be seen. Do something in the community. Keep building your businesses and creating jobs for people. Do that. That's what you need to do to be seen. Not wearing all these labels and wigs and makeup and bullshit. Don't nobody give a fuck about none of that stuff. Because if you're known for wearing labels and stuff, what is the substance behind that? Oh yeah, I know Jamie and Arena Tyler, they always dress to the nines. Okay, but what do they do outside of that? Oh, they just dress nice? Oh, okay. Moving on. Nobody gives a fuck about any of that. So, y'all in this need to be perfect all the time. It's very exhausting. So, it's exhausting for me. So, I know it has to be exhausting for y'all to constantly try to keep up. And then with you constantly putting your hands on your wife to stop her from being emotional, to stop her from being a human being, I don't like that. I don't like it, and I don't want to see it anymore. You need to encourage your wife, uplift your wife, have conversations with her and hear her out. Not always constantly trying to keep on this fake ass facade that y'all always putting on for the cameras. We're tired of it. And if that's what I love y'all family dynamic and all that, I'd rather just see the kids, because when y'all are filming, it's giving a bunch of bullshit. I'm just telling you that right now. And I love y'all as a couple. Like, really, I do. But seeing y'all on this show, it's giving a whole nother perspective of y'all relationship that's really sad, because the fakeness of it all is very overwhelming. So moving on, Monique visits Winter's house, and they talk about the ladies, the nicknames, and all that stuff. And basically, Winter tells her that she feels like Monique is like throwing her under the bus, and she feels like, as her friend of all these years, it's like you're picking sides. And I feel like Monique is like taking the role of, I'm going to go with the popular girls group because Winter is not a main cast member on the show. I want to remain on this show. So I'm going to go ahead and be on this side with them. Hopefully, while I'm doing this, I don't ruin my friendship with Winter, because I do value our friendship, but hopefully she can understand what I have to do here to keep this show going. And that's really fucked up, that y'all lives are not that interesting enough where you got to throw your friend under the bus. Like, I didn't like that. And I feel like Winter is just being thrown under the bus completely. Winter is the only reason why we have anything entertaining going on this show. Y'all really should be thanking her, because outside of her, what the fuck are y'all really doing? Ashley's complaining about Quick working too much. Okay. Monique is constantly giving Chris battered woman syndrome, beating down on him all the time. Okay. Arena and Jamie are being fake as fuck, and dressed to the nines. Okay. Only thing about interesting with them is their children. I'd rather see more of that in the family dynamic. And y'all helping Jamie to not be such a bully. Like, that's more interesting. They could have been the catalyst couple to kind of get shit going. Not y'all, throwing poor little Winter under the bus. Like, I didn't like that, but I did think it was damn funny when she called them gutter Barbies. Hilarious. Winter be having the little quips and the comebacks, okay? But yeah, I don't like how it's really giving negative energy from Monique. Like, I feel like Monique is throwing her friend under the bus, and I really don't like it. I think that she's joining the Mean Girls crew, or the popular people crew, if you will, because they're main cast members, and Winter is just a casualty of war with all of that. And I just think it's a shame. But moving on, then Winter says she thought the Kevin situation would end quickly, but she's still fighting through it. And she gets emotional over the situation, because she's like, I'm talking about this, but I have to live through this. Like, I thought this would be over in 6 months, but I'm still to this day fighting to get out of this marriage with this man. And you just don't understand all that I'm going through. And Monique was like, well, I think you need to talk about that, because I look at you like this really strong person. And I apologize, because I didn't really think it was affecting you like that. And as a friend, maybe I need to pay more attention to that and be more sensitive to that. And that was the only thing I really agreed with Monique on. Other than that, you still kind of being two-faced, because you're saying one thing to her, but then you going back to the other ladies and saying some other shit. And it's like, you laughed when she called them DJ, when she called Quick DJ Fun Size. But then when you were with Ashley, you made it seem like, oh yeah, she shouldn't have said that. That was disrespectful and all this, that, and the third. You're playing both sides, and it's not okay. I don't like it. But moving on, Arena and Jamie have Terry, the intuitive healer, over, which I absolutely love her. Absolutely love her. I'm actually going to get my coins together so I can go to Terry, because I know Terry probably costs a pretty penny, but I'm going to have to get my coins together and me and my husband go to her, because child, she be picking out the bullshit. Okay. Do you hear me? She gonna call your bullshit right away. She sat there with her damn throw over her shoulders, child, and she looked straight at them and was like, it's giving fake. This whole little shit that y'all do, it's giving very fake, and I see right through your bullshit. Tell me the truth of the matter of what's going on in your relationship. I'm like, okay, Terry, if you don't read the fuck out of them in their house with their blanket on, child, drinking their tea, okay, sis. So she just poked holes in all of their BS. So Arena talks about all this stuff about her wanting to be perfect. She even tells her about the BBL that she was thinking about getting, and just all this stuff about how she wants to be perfect. And she says, Terry said, looks at her and says, I'm not even gonna lie to you, just listening to all this stuff. It's the energy, it's just giving off fake. And I was like, oh, okay, sis. Then she talks about Arena always, Jamie doesn't like nurturing energy, but he married Arena, which is filled with nurturing energy. And I can see that because Arena is always, I wouldn't say that Arena is a messy person. Arena is the type of person that she tries to cater to everybody around her, and she tries to remain a neutral party in situations. But her family and her husband is very important to her. So yeah, she's going to get mama bearish and, defensive over those things. However, that's a part of her nurturing spirit where she loves everybody around her and tries to do everything for everybody. But I think that her attitude too is kind of a little fucked up, because even thinking back to her not going to her own friend's birthday party because she was that mad at Jamie, like that wouldn't have stopped me. That's the superficial part of her, because the always wanting to look perfect, because the fact that I believe she left that party because she didn't like how it looked that he was coming out there talking to her crazy. So she didn't want to go in there and look a certain way in front of everybody, because what if somebody that was outside knows what happens and they come in here and try to clown me or whatever? Like, she couldn't look past that to go and celebrate her own best friend's birthday, because she has this need to be perfect. She has this need to look a certain way to everybody. When newsflash, sis, who gives a fuck about what these people in this world think about you? None of these people are paying your bills. None of these people are helping you live this lavish lifestyle that you want to have. None of these people are contributing to it. So who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about what they think? Stop worrying about what people think, and your days will grow longer. Okay? I don't give a fuck about what none of these people think. Exhibit A, I'm on here talking about y'all. And I don't really give a fuck what y'all think about my commentary either. So there's that. Stop giving a fuck about what people think, and your life will be so much easier to live. I'm telling you that right now, because when you live day to day worrying about what somebody cares and thinks about you, you always going to be in a drunken stupor of stupidity. Okay? A daily drunken stupor of stupidity, because you can't live your life like that. You only get one life. Don't worry about what nobody think about it. Live it and do you. Okay? So moving on. Monique and Chris go to some sexual exercise together where they're they doing all this stuff. And then at the end they have a conversation, and Monique Chris talks about how he doesn't like how she's constantly talking about him to her friends and seemingly putting him down all the time. He's like, I really need you to stop doing that. Every time you're around your friends, it seems like you always have something negative to say. And she's like, well, I'm sorry, I don't mean to do that. I'm just expressing myself. And I didn't like how in the confessional, she was really being shady towards him. And I don't know whether he picked up on it or not, but she was like, you know what? I apologize for expressing myself to people about real frustrations that I'm having with you that I'm not seeing any changes with. But you know what? I won't do that anymore. I'll just try to deal with it with you. And I won't talk to anybody else about it anymore. First of all, that's very passive aggressive of you. That's very fucked up, because what you're doing is still pointing out the fact that he's not changing. And I get that. But have that conversation with him. Don't apologize for something and put him down about it in the next minute. And he responds by saying, I appreciate that. I appreciate your apology. No, she really wasn't apologizing to you, Chris. She was still being an asshole. But hopefully, I hope that Monique gets what she's looking for out of Chris, because for me, I feel like she's not being totally transparent about what it is exactly that she needs. And even if Chris goes and fulfills his passion, like let's say he starts coaching again, then you're going to have an issue with him being out of the house all the time again. And you're going to feel like you're sinking back into that stay-at-home mom role. So it's like, do you really want him to go and do his passions or not? You have this need to be in the spotlight that I'm learning, that I'm seeing. You want to be seen, and I get it. I see that with a lot of NFL basketball wives or whatever, because people always know them as so and so's wife. Chris Samuel's wife. I'm sure the only reason Sierra isn't Russell Wilson's wife because she was Sierra before she got with him. But like everybody has this need to have their own individualism, right? And I think that Monique is, she needs these shows and doing all this stuff and being on the radio and all this stuff to be seen because she wants to be Monique Samuels. She doesn't want to be Chris Samuel's wife. And for all these years, she's done the Chris Samuel's wife duties. And that's all she needs to express to him. I want my own identity, Negro. I want my own shit. I want to be my own separate entity visually outside of you. If you explain that to him, then y'all problems will be so much easier to solve versus you trying to go through this whole Buddhist Hinduism way of trying to mentally get telepathy coming out of him. Tell him how you really feel and stop bullshitting and pissing around the mulberry bush. Don't nobody got time for that. Be honest and vocal about how you feel. He can't read your mind. He's trying his damnedest, but he cannot read your mind. And Chris, you also need to go ahead and be vocal about what you want to do. If you really want to coach, go ahead and coach. But also listen to what your wife is saying. She's saying she needs more help with the children. She's saying that she doesn't want to just be your wife, like, and be known for just being your wife. She doesn't want to be the one handling everything. Be more proactive in handling shit with her and for her. Be a catalyst to progression instead of just another thing on her checklist to take care of. That's what she's trying to say. So you're welcome. I just solved y'all marital problems for free on my YouTube channel. Moving on. So in the last scene, everybody comes to the Newberg house because Monique wants to have everybody over as more of like a detox type of situation. And so she breaks the news to them that, you know what, guys? All right, y'all. I can't uninvite Winter. I invited her here. She's actually bringing some relationship specialists up here. So it was her connect. So I didn't have the heart to like uninvite her. So she's coming, but she's not spending the night. I get it. If y'all don't even want to be down here with her or whatever the case may be, y'all can stay in your rooms, but she's coming. And then Chris breaks the news. Oh shit. Well, Kevin coming too, right? I was like, well, goddamn. Y'all over here shocking the shit out of people. Like they can't stand Winter right now. So why would you do that? You needed to get another relationship specialist to come over there and help y'all out because this right here, I don't know what the fuck gonna go on here. And then why the hell would you have Kevin in the same room with this woman? Like she is clearly repulsed by him. That man has done some, mind you, there was a scene where he came with a whole binder of receipts of his own damn possession at bar one at Peter's. I didn't talk about it because that whole scene was just a waste of time for me. But all the men apparently were at bar one and they were talking about some things, and Kevin comes in there with his binder of receipts of what's going on with his marriage and how he really loves her. He's considering himself still married, but he didn't really tell us anything. He's like, yeah, it's all written right here. Okay, what does it say, Kevin? Because it sounds like you talking a bunch of bullshit, like Winter said. And Quick over here talking about, wow, Winter really is dirty. Like she making up stuff. No, ain't nobody making up stuff. Did you read what the fuck was in this binder of bullshit that he has? Because I'm pretty sure that this man is lying his ass off, and he's definitely a scammer. So this woman is not totally repulsed by him for no reason. Okay. But anyway, y'all, that's the episode. Hopefully Chris and Monique can find the way out of this bullshit that they going through. Hopefully Ashley can stop being a mean girl towards Winter, because Winter is the only reason why y'all ass is interesting. And Arena, don't get your ass pumped the fuck up. And Jamie, stop being a bully, because this whole hard DC guy exterior that you're trying to get off, it's giving very soft. Like when you gotta put this much effort into trying to be a tough guy, it makes you look like a marshmallow. Just be a soft, easygoing man. Be a good father on TV. Like, let us see you doing that and nurturing to your children. Show us something that we don't see. Don't nobody want to see some man trying to be He-Man all the time, beating his chest. That shit is lame. Grow out of that. Continue to go to therapy so you can learn, you can unlearn all of those traits, because clearly that behavior is pushing your family away. And I feel like he has mentally and emotionally abused Arena and the children for so long that they don't recognize it. They've just lived in this bubble of his foolishness for so long that all they all do is work around it. Like, let's work around how angry dad, or my husband is going to be. That's not healthy. That doesn't create a healthy relationship. I can clearly see that you love your wife. Well, actually I don't. I feel like she's like a piece of arm candy, like a trinket. I like how when y'all are one on one, how it's a genuine look, but sometimes it just looks really fake. Like, y'all are just living the dream outwardly to people, but y'all go through so much behind the scenes to keep putting up this show of perfection when it's really not as perfect as y'all try to make it look. We want to see their real life stuff. That's what we want for reality TV. Okay, so all y'all stop being fake as fuck and stop pouncing on poor Winter, because child, y'all done had her shave the whole damn side of her head and put some more hair on it. Y'all done stressed her the fuck out so much. Child, I don't know, y'all. Love and Marriage DC, child. We gonna see what's going on in the next episode. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that's watching this show too with us. And I will see you in the next video. Peace out.